So next up on the main card, we got a nice middleweight bout here. So we got Brendan Allen versus Jan Heinisch.
What?
No, Heinisch.
Heinisch. Oof. This guy. Do you have a brown man in your graphic? I just want to make sure.
No, I got this man from Colorado. I don't even understand.
This guy's name's Ian Heinisch.
Heinisch. All right. He's German?
I don't know. I could be wrong too. Maybe it's Heinisch. If it is, I apologize. It's definitely not Heinisch. So let's actually continue on. So
I'm just thinking high knees, man. High knees.
Right? High knees. That's everyone was yelling that in practice, and he's going, "What?"
Ooh, me?
Yeah. Meanwhile, like the girls' classes, like trying to get their highs knees on. This guy's yelling at them, like, "What?" All right, so looking at this fight, I actually think Brendan Allen should be a massive favorite here. I don't think his line should be more than a minus 300, but I think he's a massive favorite. I'm going to say his high is minus 180. The reason I believe that is that 3-0 UFC record is against pretty good competition. He's a 5-3 fighter overall. We've seen him fight good fighters. He beat Kevin Holland via rear naked choke.
I was going to say our boy Holland, man.
Mm-hmm. And I think he can grind this guy out. I think Heinisch is, pulled out of the first fight due to injury. I mean, he looked good in the last fight, but I mean, he needs to be awarded a little bit here for what he's done. And he beat Mirskar, who's the guy who lost to Chimaev. He basically beat him in the exact same way. And so you got to give him a bit of edge there, but I think that edge is where I put that line. So at best, a plus 125, a plus 200, but nothing more than that. What do you think?
So one thing I'm going to ask you is, I know the odds here, so I'm going to ask you to make a case here for our boy Heinisch.
Well, I think there's a huge experience factor on his end, and I think that's because he's been in the UFC for a couple fights more. He's experienced losses here. He's experienced what it takes to kind of keep going in the UFC, and right now we're seeing him get those wins under his belt. And so is this his toughest fight? For sure, at least in the recent past. And so I think if he gets this win and he gives a guy like Brendan Allen, who's such a talked about, prospect, that first loss, it's going to put him in a much higher category when it comes to that next fight.
Yeah, and so given Allen's history, like that makes me super excited. He has a lot of credibility on his, win cards, and the odds aren't really reflective of it. This is another straight pick'em. There's no favorite here.
Wow. And what did I tell you before we recorded this, Pies? I said this is the closest card I have seen in the last month and a half, by far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And so stay tuned for that one. I do believe, there is some good value on Brendan Allen here. We'll take a little bit more research and kind of lock it in when we know.